Much for joining the National Center for Transgender Equality for the 2022 US Transgender Survey Launch Day Live. It's finally here. It's so exciting. I'm going to give everyone a minute to hop on and join us. So sit tight, find the survey link, get it queued up, get it ready to go. So we're just going to wait here for a moment. All right. So, quite a few of you who are here with us right now at the top of the hour. So, I am very eager to go ahead and get started to get this survey kicked off. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Josie Caballero, she, her pronouns, and a proud trans woman and the director of the U.S. Transgender Survey and Special Projects at the National Center for Transgender Equality, coming to you live from Washington, D.C. And I am joined by my colleagues, Sandy and Alex. And before we do a round of introductions, I would like to open up today's event to a land acknowledgement. So I'll pass it over to my colleague, Alex.
Thank you so much, Josie. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. Really excited to have you all tuning in. As Josie mentioned, we'll get things started with a land acknowledgement. As we gather in this virtual space, we must acknowledge that the ground beneath our feet is historically the home of Indigenous peoples, many of whom have been forced to leave for other lands. Native nations negotiated government to government, preserving their sovereign land, rights, and privileges through treaties. When land was not ceded through treaties, it was stolen from our Indigenous relatives. This acknowledgement recognizes the first caretakers of this land, the suffering they've endured, and sacrifices made by Native people. I am currently an uninvited guest on the land of the Arapaho, Ute, and Cheyenne peoples. These tribes once covered almost all of what's currently Colorado and the Four Corners region. May we remember that Indigenous peoples are not a people of the past, but are here with us now, continuing to demonstrate their talents and gifts amidst a backdrop of ongoing colonialism and oppression. If there are any Indigenous folks who are tuning in, you are invited to share your tribe in the Facebook comments so that we may recognize that you are here. I hope that this land acknowledgement statement will inspire all of us as a community to stand in solidarity with Native nations. Solidarity looks like donating time and money to Indigenous-led organizations and communities, amplifying the voices of Indigenous people leading grassroots change movements, intentionally learning about the history of the Indigenous peoples that inhabited and cared for the land you currently stand on.
Oh, did we lose Alex? Oh, it seems that we have disconnected from Alex. So, with that, thank you so much, Alex. And I really appreciate the land acknowledgement. And thank you for all of our Indigenous siblings who are joining us now. So, thank you. So, to kick off the first intro, I would like to pass it over to Dr. Sandy James.
Still getting caught by that mute button. Hi all, my name is Sandy James. Pronouns are he, him. It's really great to be here. I'm the lead researcher for this project at the US Trans Survey, and I'm just so excited to be here on launch day, joining you from Washington, D.C. area. I was part of the last survey in 2015, but I already know that this survey is going to be much bigger and better, so thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you so much, Sandy. And I'll pass it over to a person we've already heard for, Alex. Alex, is your connection working? Oh, Looks like we lost Alex. When Alex gets back, we'll make sure to bring them back in. They have been critical to making sure that our outreach process has been effective and making sure that this is a community-led survey. So thank you, Alex. And something's got to go wrong. At least this was it. So we'll be joined shortly by Alex. So I have the pleasure of introducing our next person, Carter from the Black Trans Advocacy Coalition. Welcome, Carter.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm Carter Brown. I serve as the Executive Director of the National Black Trans Advocacy Coalition. And this survey is so important to us as Black and trans and non-binary people because it clearly lays out how we are most often at a disadvantage when it comes to accessing basic resources because of discrimination. So this survey is one of the most important advocacy tools that we have in order to continue to demand real change.
Thank you so much, Carter. I really appreciate you. And our next guest today is Joanna. Welcome, Joanna. Give us a
Hi,
short
everybody.
introduction.
I'm so thrilled to be here. My name is Joanna Rivera, she, her, and I'm the manager of transgender services at Sage USA, the nation's largest agency dedicated to enriching the lives of LGBTQ older adults. I work specifically with transgender older adults age 50 plus, and I know that our community has a lot of dedicated advocates and their voices are needed. If you need any support and you're over the age of 50 and want to take the survey, please reach out to us. Mi nombre es Joana Rivera, pronombre ella, y soy la manager de los servicios transgénero para Sage USA. Y estoy muy contenta de estar acá con todos ustedes. Gracias.
Thank
Y,
you. So go ahead. I
no,
didn't mean to cut you off. Sí.
Okay.
¿Está bien? We good?
Yeah, I'll pass
Okay.
it over to Anjali.
Okay, thank you, Joanna. I appreciate that.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. My name is Anjali Rimi. Salam Namaste. I'm here to invite you to take the US Transgender Survey. As a proud South Asian transgender immigrant woman, serving as the president of America's only transgender-led, transgender-centering South Asian organization, Parivar Bay Area, I invite you, along with NCAPIA and Utopia Washington, to all my trans siblings to take the survey, particularly the Asian Pacific Islander transgender communities, particularly the intersex folks, and definitely the immigrant transgender siblings of the Global South. And most importantly, I want to warmly welcome the South Asian Kinnar Hichwa siblings to take the survey. आप सबको मेरी तरफ से नमस्कार. मेरा नाम अंजलि रिमी है. आप कृपया ये सर्वे लीजिए. हमारी कहानियां बताने बहुत जरूरी है. This survey is going to bring data equity that is so needed for our visibility, for policy change, and most importantly, our community unity. So please do take the survey, and I am honored to be here today. I'm Anjali Remy, pronouns she, her, they, them. Namaskar.
Thank you so much. And I will pass it over to the wonderful Riva.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? What's a wonderful, exciting day to have the survey kick off. I'm Miss Riva, Dakota Anishinaabe Elder, coming from you from the upper Midwest of Turtle Island. I'd like to thank the team for the wonderful land acknowledgement for my Indigenous brothers and sisters. And this is such an exciting, important day for this wonderful event. And I'm inviting all my Indigenous brothers, sisters, and all the relatives to come in and join, our trans relatives to come in and join and take the survey. Your voice counts. Your voice matters. I'm going to pass it back to Josie. Yay!
Thank you so much. Yay. Thank you for all of those wonderful things from all of our great partners here. And thank you for tuning in and being here with us. We are going to spend the next 20 minutes sharing with you more about the survey, including how and when to take the survey, which is now, and ways you can help spread the word because the survey is now open through November 21st. So I know it's the middle of the workday for many of you, but I encourage you to hang on until about 12:30 to hear all the good stuff. And thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. This is such an exciting time. As of today, we had about 36,000 trans people who have pledged to take the survey, which far surpasses the number who took the survey back in 2015. It's so exciting. We are expecting this year's survey to be the largest survey of data collection of trans people in US history. And this is because in part of those that are here with us today. So thank you. I want to applaud everybody because it's so exciting that we are finally at this moment. The survey went live today around 9 a.m. Eastern, and we already have over 2,000 people who have taken it. Like, that deserves an applause. Like 2,000 already. Like, our community is getting out there and showing that we want our stories to be heard. This is remarkable. When you take the survey, make sure you set aside about an hour to complete. So that way you can be cozy and not in any rush in any way. I am humbled by this early response, and I hope it bodes well for the next 30 days the survey is open. So, why does this matter? I probably don't need to tell you or tell anyone here, but the state is obvious. The public doesn't know our community, and together we must work to help understand our community better. It matters to our health, our livelihood, and our happiness. While we've made some strides in the past few years, we have a ways to go. And the survey helps show our lived experiences and all of the disparities we may face. Your story matters, and we want you to take the survey. The survey questions are important to our community. In fact, we have several sections that go over the experiences with income and employment, healthcare. We even included sports and access to locker rooms, housing, COVID, and even reproductive access. These are just a few of the many sections that you're going to be able to interact with to tell us your stories. So, with that, I am going to take a quick moment to talk in for Trans Latina Coalition, who unfortunately Bambi Soseto couldn't be here. So I'm going to be able to speak for her really quickly. This survey is such an important survey. By sharing our stories and our lived experience through answering questions like this, we can help shed light on the challenges and strengths of our community. It fills in the gaps that on research about trans people. And as you can imagine, there are many gaps. The National Institute of Health still relies on the data from the 2015 survey, so I can assure you that it does make its way to the mainstream. Groups who need to understand this better. It's available in English and in Spanish, so I hope we'll see a great turnout of the trans Latina community. And as a proud trans Latina, I hope you do. So with that, I will pass it over to Joanna, another trans Latina.
Yes, thank you so much, Josie. I'm also a very proud trans Latina. We are seeking thousands of trans people ages 16 and older. We want to hear from trans people nationwide, including US territories and on US military bases. We are asking you to give 60 minutes of your time to take the survey between now and November 21st. Doing so will help us continue to collect the data we need to help the public better understand the lives and experiences of trans people in the United States. And I will pass it to Carter.
You're absolutely right, Joanna. And this matters because our community is diverse. And the more people who take the survey, the more trans voices that will be heard. We're hoping to collect the largest, most diverse sample, and that includes people of color, older adults, those who live in rural areas, immigrants, Spanish speakers, those who are HIV positive, and more. The survey is also accessible to people with physical, sensory, and cognitive disabilities, consistent with Section 508 standards of the Rehabilitation Act. Thanks, everyone. Anjali, would you like to add anything?
Most definitely. Thank you, Carter, Josie, and Joanna. and in Spirit Bambi for highlighting some important information about the survey. I want to repeat something Josie just said because it absolutely bears repeating. And that's the number of trans people who have pledged to take the survey, over 36,000. It is truly our hope that even though we are thrilled by the number of pledgers, even more will participate. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell as many people as you know. There is strength in our numbers. That is unity. And it's our chance to help our entire trans community just by completing the survey and sharing our valuable experiences. Yes, already, many trans people who have completed the survey have kicked us off right today. So, have the pledgers and trans activists and celebrities like Jazz Jennings and Alok Menon who have been helping us get the word out. I'll turn it over back to Alex.
Thank you so much, Anjali. Like you heard, the survey takes about an hour to complete, more or less. So when it's time for you to take the survey, make sure you grab a snack and get a little cozy. I've been through it. I took it this morning. I was one of the 36,000 folks that pledged to take the survey, as Josie mentioned. And during my time, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. And so, just a heads up, as you go through the US Trans survey, it can get a little emotional. And if you need it, if it gets a little rough for you, feel free to take a break. Take a break, call a friend, do a little yoga, anything that helps you get recentered. And then when you're ready, you can come back to the survey. Just remember, if you do decide to take a break, leave the survey tab open if you feel comfortable doing so, right? If it's in your own home, you can leave it open, but maybe if you're at a public library, you might not want to do that. And then when you're ready, you can come back to the survey and finish it. Anjali shared some names of some influencers who have helped us, and we are so grateful for their support. And we have shared their names with their permission. And so we understand that not every trans person is out, and not all of us in our community are comfortable in sharing our stories publicly. So do know that the US Trans Survey research team does not collect personal information, and that all survey responses are anonymous. Again, we encourage you to tell your friends in the trans community about the survey and really let them know that it is anonymous. We'll post this live on our social media on Facebook after we wrap up today. That way, you know, when you do connect with your friends, you can let them know where to find it and direct them to the ustranssurvey.org where they can take the survey. And that being said, I will turn it over to Sandy.
Thanks so much, Alex. It's really appreciated. Before we get back to you all and the subject we're all here for, which is you all taking the survey and telling your friends about it, as lead researcher, I did want to tell you a little bit about the survey that you'll be taking. So the U.S. Trans Survey is for trans people by trans people. It's conducted by the National Center for Transgender Equality in partnership with the National Black Trans Advocacy Coalition, the Trans Latina Coalition, and the National Queer Asian Pacific Islander Alliance. The survey is conducted by a team of experienced researchers and guided by a scientific advisory council who are experts in trans research. So as Josie mentioned earlier, research about the lives and experiences of trans people is really limited. So the US Trans Survey serves to fill in a lot of gaps in research and paint a complete picture of trans lives, not just the ones that you hear about in the media sometimes. Many questions in the US Trans Survey are modeled after questions used in federal surveys, and that allows us to compare the experiences of trans people in our sample, the USTS sample, to the US population as a whole. That's important because documenting the experiences of trans people in the US, such as in areas of unemployment and poverty and health, helps us to demonstrate how the experiences of trans people differ from the experiences of non-trans people. We're all really, really excited for what's about to come, and we thank you so much all for your participation and your time. So back over to you, Josie.
Thank you so much, Dr. James. I feel like a broken record, but I'm supposed to say it and I can't say it enough times. The survey is now open. So this will happen for the next 30 days and it will be closing at 11:59 p.m. on November 21st. So where can you take it? Well, out on the bottom of your screen, you see ustranssurvey.org. go to that website and you can click and go to the survey either in English or if you prefer in Spanish, you have that ability. So go do it and do it now. The US transsurvey.org, as we mentioned, takes roughly an hour, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. So this telling your stories, like Alex said, can be and feel a little heavy. And it may bring up emotions, hard emotions, and joyful ones. And if you need a break, that's okay. Like Alex said, all you have to do is just keep the tab open on your browser and you can come back to it at any moment. But we can't stress enough. Make sure that you're in a safe place and have access to privacy so you can actually walk away and do the things that Alex suggested. I may do a little yoga myself, which is super great. So with that, I will toss it over to Alex.
Awesome.
Oh, Reba, I'm sorry, Reba. I apologize. I was skipping you, Reba. You're right there. Go ahead. I apologize, Miss Reba. Go ahead.
Okay, we're all in this together. But
Yes.
have we had a chance to thank all of you for being here yet? In case you weren't with us at the beginning of the live stream, thank you so much. We are so excited to have you be part of this incredible, important survey. The 2022 U.S. Transgender Survey is such an important resource to educate people about the transgender community. Without members of our trans community taking 60 minutes over the next 30 days to take the survey, this project would not be possible. All of us here just can't thank you enough. And of course, thanks again to all the Outreach Council partners. Without the work of this dedicated group of national and community-based organizations, as well as some amazing community advocates around the country, we could not have gotten over 30,000 trans people across the United States and several territories to pledge to take the survey. So get out there, take the survey today. Thank you so much. Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much, Reba. I want to echo Reba's sentiments. Thank you. I feel so lucky to have the opportunity to work alongside our community for this important survey. Before we end our time together, I'm going to ask everyone who's tuning in 5 things from y'all. Number 1, take the US Trans Survey at ustranssurvey.org between now and November 21st. I recommend filling it out, completing it sooner than later. Number 2, after you've taken the survey, share your story with NCTE. You'll see that once you complete the survey, you'll have an option to share your story. Number 3, spread the word. You can spread the word by sharing the survey with your network, any LGBT groups that you're part of, or anywhere that you connect with other trans people. Number 4, if you work for an organization and want to support this incredibly important survey, please reach out to us at ustranssurvey@transequality.org to learn more about how your organization can join hundreds of other organizations during this survey period. And number 5, as we alluded to, as we mentioned multiple times this call, there are 36,000 folks who have pledged to take the survey, and we are really excited about that. And we want to make sure that they know that the survey is out. And so with that being said, we are hosting a virtual phone bank tonight on launch day at 6 p.m. Eastern time to call as many folks from our community to remind them the survey is out. So we'll drop the link for y'all in the chat and sign up because we'd love to have you there. We also have an exciting event coming up that we'd love for you to mark your calendars for. On October 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we will be hosting an Instagram Live with Pat Manuel alongside our amazing comms director, Leroy Thomas. And together, we'll spend some time together talking about why they are taking this survey. Again, it's people like y'all on this call, as well as Pat Manuel, that we're finding strength in our numbers. So I hope, on October 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, you find a few minutes to tune in and spend some time with us. Please check out the resource map on our page as well. Shout out to all of our organizations. They are on that map. They are helping power the 2022 U.S. Trans Survey. With all that being said, and all the content that we've covered, you all might have some questions, and that makes complete sense. So for any questions you might have, you can directly message us at the National Center for Transgender Equality on Instagram, or you can also email us at ustranssurvey@transequality.org, and we will do our very best to answer your questions in a timely manner. We'll also have another live event specifically focused on questions that our community might still have. And there's more information to come there. Do keep an eye out for that. Another resource that you can also check out is our FAQ page on ustranssurvey.org, and that'll cover some of our frequently asked questions. And with that being said, Josie, I will hand it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Alex. And, I'm loving the support, the strength, and the beauty of this community. I am so proud to say that the US Trans Survey is a community-led survey by trans people for trans people. And I could stay here all day with the energy and the love, but we do need to get back to work as respondents are coming in every second. And we have, and I even need to go and take the survey myself. I hope to see you on October 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern for Pat Manuel's Live. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for participating and helping us make history and shape the future for trans people across the country. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.